Our guests today are a couple of interesting people. So we have two gentlemen and a lady who are doing excellent work in the field of education. I would like to introduce Mr. Narayan. He is the current president of Rotary Club Madras East. And Mr. Purushottam, he's the past president of the same club. And we have Mrs. Lata Vasan. She heads the training division for the Madras Dyslexia Association. So let's ask the gentleman first. So what is it that's made or that has Rotary rooting for education when you have so many other causes that you can fund?
Actually, Rotary has got several causes. A club like ours, Madras East, supports all causes. We have health related projects, we have vocational training projects, we have projects for youth, and education per se comes under an avenue of service called community services development.
Right.
So it's not just education that we support the whole. We have a basket of projects, all of various types. Education is something which is close to our heart because it sort of reaches out to the children and it can make a huge difference into the future going forward. And over the last several years, our club has been very strong in completing projects on infrastructure for hospitals, for schools. We did a project for the Urapakam Adi Dravida school where we gave them a lot of infrastructure, computer rooms, toilets, whatnot. And we have been reveling in this. We did one government school at Pallikarnai. So, but having done all that over the last couple of years, we sort of felt that we should also be concentrating on the softer side of education, improving teaching methodologies, bringing in qualitative improvement in a whole range of educational activities. And to that extent, we have sort of tied up with a lot of organizations. Primarily, one organization I can mention is the India Literacy Project, where they're bringing in a lot of change into the teaching methodologies of school in the subjects like geography, history, mathematics and things like that.
Right.
And another thing which came about was that a lot of teachers in Rotary in our club. So some of them, they obviously have a lot of exposure in dealing with children with dyslexia, and this is probably something which is coming to the fore right now. Not many people are aware of it, and we are also finding probably a lot of children with varying degrees of dyslexia. So it's not just at one extreme. The children with a milder form of dyslexia probably who have gone unnoticed all along. Now can be remediated. If you remediate such children, they probably turn out to be very brilliant.
Right.
If you don't remediate, they become delinquent. So why not we use an opportunity to remediate them? And we love this concept of Madras Dyslexia Association, where they said that you don't have to pull the child out and make them feel bad that they are somewhat different, but rather you remediate them within the school and then bring them back slowly into the mainstream. We love that concept. So we were in talks with a lot of people, but we came to know about MDA, and we wanted to take it up in a very big way over the last year and this year. And fortunately for us, once we decided, my immediate past president, Rotary Purushottam, he jumped onto the project immediately and said, why not we make a start immediately rather than wait for 1 year, let all good things start immediately. So we were able to do a lot of projects last year with a great deal of success, and that's the work which will be continuing in the future. So to answer your question, is not just education. We are into health, we are into youth service, we are into vocation. We have a big vocation training center at Karipakam. So education is obviously of great importance and of prime focus for us.
Why did you choose MDA over Madras Dyslexia Association over all other organizations?
Simply because I think they are the best in business as far as dyslexia is concerned, and we have heard a lot about their work. It is not just a couple of months they have been in this. They have wide exposure and experience over several years, and our experience is that in most of the schools they have been doing this program. And we, as I told you, we like their approach that you remediate the child within the school rather than pulling them out and make them feel bad about it. So I thought that appealed quite a lot to us also. And as I told you, they're simply the best in training.
So what do you say?
I heard only about MDA when it comes to dyslexia, because as I said, they had that in that school, Vidyamandir school, where my children are studied. So I learned what is dyslexia only from MDA, okay. And they had their own office in the Vidyamandir.
Okay.
So probably they had the lead over others in terms of this dyslexia remedial techniques.
Okay, Lata, so how does it feel feel that this MBA has been chosen over all the other?
We are excited about the entire thing because the outreach which it is going to create is going to be phenomenal.
Right. So how many children are we going to?
Now this is 40 sessions, like around 2,000 children will be benefited. Okay. 2,000 teachers will be benefited.
So imagine the children.
And 20,000 teachers will, 20,000 children will be benefited.
That's tremendous, right?
That's tremendous.
The idea is each teacher will be able to identify at least 10 children for a period of time. So when you train 2,000 teachers, we expect 20,000 students to be
every year.
So that's a large number.
So the expectation is quite high.
Yes. So what made you opt for this, Mr. Purushottam?
Actually, about 6 months back, Mr. Narayanan brought me this project. When we were discussing about this projects available, he brought me this project. And it immediately struck me because as I was telling Araman, this was my personal experience is there because my both sons had this difficulty of learning disability, and in Vidya Mandir, the same Madras Dyslexia Association was having their own in-house thing for remediate classes. So I immediately struck, okay, when my sons could get benefited because they were studying in Vidya Mandir, good schools like Vidya Mandir and Padma, they have these kind of things. But when this was brought to us saying that this will be helping the downtrodden schools, where the downtrodden children are there, it will benefit them. See, we all identify every school class has got 5-10 children who are actually very poor in academics. We may think they are poor, but they have got their own, these are all the remedial things they require. So we immediately thought this is the one of the best project where at least every class may have 5 or 10 people. So if the teachers themselves are able to remediate it, they don't need to go and spend extra money outside the school curriculum. So that is the reason why we took it up.
And the sheer numbers, you're talking of training about 2,500 teachers over a 40 program course, and to imagine that each teacher can at least make a difference in 10 children, talking of 25,000 children a year. So for a 4-year time frame, we're looking at 1 lakh children. I mean, that's a huge reach for us. It makes a huge difference. Sure. I think that excited us quite a lot.
So Lata, how have you planned? How do you think trainers in MDA are going to fulfill these obligations?
So we're going to start the project sometime in September, end September. And during September, there is a vacation period where we will be going about with 5 to 6 sessions. The total sessions we have committed with Rotary is 40 sessions, where each session will have 40 teachers who will get trained. So we have identified the schools and have given the proposal to the Rotary. And those schools, we have approached them where we have clustered schools. In case a school is not having 40 primary teachers, we have clustered 2 to 3 schools.
Excellent.
And they have agreed on the time frame we have given. We are actually working on a timeline. So from August, we will start our awareness sessions with all the schools, so that the first set of schools, we tend to, we have a target of like October first week where we will complete around 8 to 10 programs. That is the way we have planned. And we think we will complete the project sometime by June, July next year.
So how many schools do you think you will be impacting?
Roughly around 75 schools we will be impacting.
So
in the 40 sessions we are going to.
So this will be directly supported by
Rotary, yes. All the programs are directly supported by Rotary.
So when you say you're going to support programs, so what is it that you are looking for? So in the sense it's only teaching, or is it any other thing that you want to?
No, this dyslexia training is actually going to be part of a whole school transformation program which we are taking up.
Okay.
So we are taking it under the Rotary Foundation's scheme called the Global Grant, which involves impacting and improving the infrastructure in a couple of schools, number 3 schools. And the training program is also part of it. As part of the foundation's grant scheme, training is a very important part of the grant scheme itself. So they love to see a project. There's a lot of training involved. So this is going to be part of it. We will also be giving some schools infrastructural improvements like computer labs, toilets, furniture. A lot of schools have lost a lot of furniture in the floods which happened 2 years ago. So they're still languishing for want of that. So we'll be providing all of that. But this is going to form a substantial part of the program.
So you mean to say your primary thrust will be on dyslexia for the next year or so?
I would say not probably primary. It's going to be a substantial part. We also have other training happening, like the India Literacy Project is going to be part of this.
Okay.
And that's also going to happen in about 10 schools.
Okay.
So it's going to be a substantial part.
So would you think that this sort of outreach can be replicated elsewhere?
That's probably the best part of it, because this training never goes waste.
Right.
So even if the teachers, very often we are concerned as to what will happen if the teacher leaves the school. But here this is a case where they carry their knowledge with them. So wherever they go, it's going to be of great use to them. So that's the good part of a training program.
Okay.
Like this.
So what are your opinions on this? So how do you think, say for example, this is a low income group school, right? So in a low income group school, say if there is a cluster school and they have maybe one teacher per school. There are schools like that?
That is why they were going to cluster it. In fact, even about 7-8 programs have conducted last year. Out of this, certain schools has got 30-40 teachers where independent programs have been done. Right. There are certain schools they have only 5 or 10 teachers. So they all grouped together and one session was conducted for them. Then only it makes sense actually. When they're going to have about 5 days, 5 full days. 6 days is the session. So that is why they always look for a holiday. The reason why she said September is they can do this only when the teachers can spend full time, 5 full days on this.
So that is very intense.
Yes,
it's
intense for 5-6 days.
It's intense. 4 to 4.5 hour sessions will go on.
Okay, so that is pretty intense.
Yes.
And the schools also get their kit, MDS kit. For dyslexia training, and I think that's a wonderful kit. We have seen that in several places.
Okay.
And all the schools get a kit.
Okay, so the kit does make a difference.
Yes, it does make a difference, because it is more of remedial methodologies which was discussed in theory is all done as a part of the kit. So kit substantiates what we have done it in theory, and a kit demo is given to the school where the teachers are empowered to handle the kit and make the teaching more effective.
Okay, so you mean to say this is like a do-it-yourself guide?
Yes, it's like a do-it-yourself guide where the kit also has a demonstration CD with it. So which helps the teachers in case they have difficulties. And we have told the teachers wherever we have done the program so far that they can fall back on us. We have created a helpline. We have created a helpline, and any queries coming to the helpline will be answered by the concerned department. And it helps the teachers. And most of the teachers, they get back to us on WhatsApp asking their queries and doubts, which is then and there cleared to them.
Excellent. So, before we conclude, what is it that you would like to share in your experience and tell parents, teachers and children about dyslexia and empowering them about this? See, it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's not a disease to be ashamed of, or it will spread, or you can pop a pill and it will disappear. So, can you share your thoughts on that?
As you rightly said, it's not a disease, so there's nothing to really be ashamed of. I think we've all long grown to understand that everybody's capability is very different. What you can do, probably I take some more time to do. So, I think that understanding is the core of this whole thing. And as far as teachers are concerned, I think it's a tremendous program for them, because it's a sort of a self-improvement program. They should look at it as a case where they can better themselves,
right,
and equip themselves with a lot more of competencies.
Right.
So they need to every time we have a program, we address them and we tell them how important the cooperation is, because usually when you get something free, you don't attach much value to it.
Exactly, that's important. Right.
So we sort of address them, and we make sure that they understand that this is being done for their benefit, and that they need to attend in all seriousness. And I think they have a wonderful schedule which they map, and unless somebody attends all their classes, they don't get a certificate. They have their systems in place. It's a very robust system that way. And once they start doing it, I think it sort of catches on. There will always be a starting problem everywhere. We sort of address this problem. We train the teachers in a lot of government-aided schools. So you have there a combination of teachers who are from the private side. You also have the government supported teachers. It's usually we find that the government supported teachers are the ones who are not interested, because their levels of enthusiasm are very different. But seeing the other side come in and address this and attend this course and learn, the enthusiasm also rubs off, and that's I think we hope to achieve that success.
Okay.
So as far as the teachers are concerned, it's a wonderful opportunity for them to empower themselves also. As far as the parents are concerned, I think it's more of awareness and realization that there's nothing really which is wrong, and a child can still be a wonderful child capable of achieving so much. So this is the takeaway which I'd like to give.
Okay.
I think most of the things Aravind has said, but then I appeal to the teachers not to label students as dull and inefficient or something like that. They may have some learning disabilities. I think with the empowerment which the MDA is doing now, I think teachers are really going to be empowered, and they're going to identify the students and do the remedial measures then and there. Then rather than labeling them as dull, we all know, we all come up. They all label some people just demotivate them. That should not happen. That's our own whole idea of taking up this. As far as parents are concerned, this is not a disease, as we all said. So nothing to be ashamed of. It's only a question of few months or 1 year or 2 years that the difference in learning between is a better counterpart by better children. So there's nothing to be ashamed of. They can take their own time. We all have seen 25, 30 years we study, another 60 years we sit in the chair like this and work. So it doesn't make any difference in 1 or 2 years. So my appeal is not put pressure on children and just take their own time to come up there.
Right. So Lata, you see.
See, each child is unique. The way they learn is very, very different. So the teachers, by going through this program, are getting empowered to handle the entire classroom, not alone a child with difficulties. So this program is a real value add for teachers, where if they identify a child with mild difficulties, they will be able to help the child within the classroom. It's not necessary the child needs to be sent out to somebody and they need to be taken care of.
Right.
As far as the parents are concerned, engineers or doctors are not the only people in the world. There are a lot of professions which are available for these children, which they take up and they become the best. And this is a lifelong condition. If they come to know that their child is dyslexic, it is better the earlier they accept the difficulty, it's easier to help the child.
Right.
Once we go into the denial mode, it is a constant denial and parents never take it. So it becomes a challenge for them. So this is for the parents. As far as for the teachers, I would want to add more. It is very systematic, as Araman said, that we have planned it in such a way that they don't miss sessions. A lot of importance is given to the sessions. And at the beginning of the session, we brief the teachers why this session is very important, why they are being called during their holidays, and why they are made to go through the program, which is really good, and it's a positive effort from our side. And the entire team from MDA is putting in their heart and soul into this project, because we want to reach maximum number of teachers who would work with each and every child in their classroom and make learning happy. Learning is very monotonous now, it is chalk and talk. But when we give our remedial methodologies, it is very fun based, it is very lively, it is using a lot of colors. So it is going to make the learning more effective and very happy for the child. So whether a child has a disability or not, all the children are going to learn the methodologies and are going to be benefited.
Right.
That's important.
Right. Thanks very much. It's been such a pleasure having you.
Thank you.
Thank you.